Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so it might as well have not even had the penalty.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now the return, Rashad Green. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, Griffin. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Griffin on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Griffin trying to lay one up deep. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go. Go right in. Gun.
A second down throw for Prescott. Underneath here to Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, here's Griffin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. The give is to Elliott. Muscles him out. A second broken tackle. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play here for the Cowboys. 45 yards. Stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Green to bring it back. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Griffin on 1st down. That is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They go play action with Griffin. And that is incomplete here. Carlos Hyde was the target. 3rd down here.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Once again, Griffin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Looking to throw. Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
41's the whip.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Switch and 8. Here we go. 1-8. Let's go. Let's go.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Griffin. Looking long for Westbrook. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Griffin. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Lee's got it over the middle. The 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Lee, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, the 30, 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Griffin. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. David Irving with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Griffin. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the 1st half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down.
Switch and 8. We go 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing now, Griffin on first down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Griffin. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. I
love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
3rd and long, it's Griffin. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. And that one results in 35 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Check 26. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line 8. Gun. Here we go. 46.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Prescott now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Line 8. Here we go. 46. 26.
Prescott from the gun. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Here we go. Line 8. 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he powers his way up past the 30. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the counter, this is high. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, Griffin. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Griffin. Going deep for Moncrief. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Again, it's Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. Room to run past midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll hand it off now. Hill. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape of this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. On play action, Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Coop. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's high. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Griffin on 2nd down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Arlington. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we... The Jaguars on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Griffin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Deep ball for Goodwin. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again to Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team, because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And a solid run down inside the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there. There you go. All right, hey.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Under. Hey, here we go. Wide 8. 26.
They go to Elliott again. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys add on. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Green to bring it back. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Out of the gun, Griffin. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Griffin. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Couple of nice plays for Jacksonville. Another first down there. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
To throw is RG3. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this